What is up, Lakers, Bakers, and Big Belly Acres? Thanks for sitting down at the message desk with me this week. Today, I want to do two things. I want to run you through this project a little bit and kind of talk about some of the elements that made me feel good inside, why it made it feel special, why I really enjoyed this project enough to make a full jam video out of it. Because a lot of it is kind of couched around happy accidents, which is something that I profess a ton on my channel. And the second is just kind of give you a general life update, what's going on with me, why videos have been inconsistent, why I look like especially bad. Yeah, man. So if you're into any portion of that, stick around. And we'll do that. I'll try to put time codes down there so that if there's only one part of this that you're interested in, you don't have to feel like you're scrolling around trying to find the relevant information. Although the idea of someone who's just here to find out about my personal life is very cute and funny to me. Like, I don't give a shit about this music stuff. What's going on with his face? So yeah, if you're ready, let's join me, your host, the human embodiment of Asai, and talk about this project a little bit. Before we get into it, let's just listen to a little bit of the project, just to kind of refresh your ears, and then we'll talk about some of the stuff that I think made it work, made it fun. Yeah, man. Fun project. Right off the bat, we're in happy accident territory, and I'll tell you why. I sampled myself for this project, this sort of really aimless ambient thing, which I think I've shown off in a past video. Sounds like this. Really aimless ambient stuff, my favorite thing to sample. I've sampled that. And just by pure accident, I accidentally put it onto a track that had the pattern of a hi-hat. I had programmed a kind of rattling trap hi-hat for some other aimless, useless project that didn't go anywhere. And I just forgot to change that before I swapped things over. And so it left me with this very interesting pattern, which sounds like this. You can hear the retriggers. Now, when I first had this happen, these triggers weren't as melodic as they were because it was just one note being triggered over and over again. Because if it's a hi-hat, remember, it's just going to be that one note unless you're doing some specific, kind of micro sequencing there. But what I did was the super easy hacksaw trick of random slice assignment, basically. So if you go into your slice grid, you can either enter it with the AED button or my preferred method, just holding function and AED. If you're on a Mark II Octatrack, if you're on a Mark I, I don't know what to tell you. Sucks to suck. Get a job, work harder, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get another one, sell your house to fund the Octatrack. I did it. You can do it too, etc. Anyway, and then you make some slices if you want. And then what you can do is, if you don't already have slices, in this case, I already had slices because I'm an OG Giga Chad. Then you go into your slice menu, you scroll down, and you go create random blocks. Click yes. It'll say, are you sure? You click yes again, and it will assign random slices to all of your triggers. It's not always going to work out as well as it did for me, but I'm a lucky boy, and it worked out really well. And it just so happened that I love the melody. And one of the things that I always talk about with happy accidents is when they happen, try to roll with them. Try to see where they're trying to take you. And what I did was I programmed this little melody to go with it that sounds like this. Really subtle. But it backs it up. So if I take it out, something's definitely missing. Right? Nice. Standard boom boom clack snare. And you know what I need. All right, I'm getting distracted. It happens when an 808 is played in front of me. It's like A Clockwork Orange, except instead of my eyes being held open, it's big 808s holding my eyes open to their sound. And I love it. So in a way, it's not like Clockwork Orange at all, Dan. Yeah, man. Something I'll say is this isn't actually an 808 sample, just a bass sample. But you can kind of make your own 808, because all an 808 is really is a sub, bass, and a click at the beginning of some sort. So if you take a kick drum like this, and you filter out some of the high end, which I haven't because I'm a glutton for low end, and I probably should, you can just have them doing the same relative pattern, and you're going to get that kind of 808 feel, which is what I do on the Octatrack a lot, because a lot of the 808s I have for some reason don't stay in tune on the Octatrack. I've talked about this before, weird detuning problems with this machine, or with me, I don't know, but it's annoying, so this is a workaround I have. Got a lot of filter distortion, better for that kind of clean distortion and warmth, and then we got some rough distortion, better for that nasty hard shit like I take every morning. Too much information? Maybe, but you know what? We're in a parasocial relationship. I know you want to know about my health problems, and I'm going to tell you about them, but you got to stick around till the end. Why am I baiting my health problems? Why am I clickbaiting what's wrong with me? I don't know. I have sleep apnea. I don't sleep no good because I'm fat, so I got to lose some weight and hopefully sleep better so I don't snore with my eyes open anymore. It's a problem. That's the TLDR, I guess. A lot of weird energy today. I don't feel good on my insides. You know how it goes. Okay, that was Happy Accident number 1. We love it. We're big fans of it. Good job, me. I was kind of just rolling with that, and I wasn't really sure where to take the project next, because that's how it always goes with me. I get one loop going, and I'm like, sick. I'm done. I don't know what to do now. But again, had a happy accident happen. I was working on possibly doing some sort of B section, and I was messing with comb filters. What I wanted to do was something with a comb filter, and then it occurred to me that percussion through a comb filter sounds great. Not a whole lot of percussion on this track, so I had to make room for some, and so I did. And so if you listen, starting here, yeah, you can hear this loop, which is an Igloo Ghost loop. And this loop really ties everything together. Really does. So listen. This is the same loop as before, but with a little more delay. Kick, or snare rather. And then we have the lead still. Now, none of that is the happy accident. What the happy accident was a scene transition. I was trying to figure out how to bridge the gap between something like this and this. This is so much kind of more chaotic. And then on sheer accident, I had copied parts over. When you copy a part over, parts contain your scenes. And so regardless of what effects there are on various tracks, on your master, that's going to get copied over as well. Or at least the relative programming of that is going to be copied over as well. So like I have this scene 12, it's doing these various things, but it's just referencing effects and volumes and quadrants of whatever's going on. So if I change what the sample is, if I change what the effect is, all these things are still going to be referenced relatively. It'll just be doing something different, which is why I suggest always copying your parts over, because you might just give yourself some free real estate and find yourself into some happy accident territory, which I happen to do. So I had left my fader over, and I was on scene 12 here, and I hit play, which is just the loop here, because on a previous pattern, it's just this vocal sample to kind of like, ooh, and then now we're into the next section. It occurred to me that this is like a perfect like half bar surprise before the actual big bass hits you. So like if we're progressing from here, make sure I'm on. Yeah. So if we're progressing from here, here we have this vocal sample. And I don't know about you, but that shit gives me the smiles every time, man. Tickles me right in my gullet. I had an endless amount of fun messing with that and working with that. And it really gave me the necessary push forward to finish the rest of the track, which really is just this, a few other scenes. I do some stuff with the comb filtering where I pitch it up and down. So like... So I'm filtering into a high pass here, pitching it up a half step, filtering down into a low pass here, pitching it up one more step, kind of playing with juxtapositions there. And then, you pull back. So it's mainly just that pattern. And this last pattern, which there's no happy accident stuff going on here, but it's just trying to get as creative with programming as I can, which I'll play right now and you'll hear what I mean. Man, I love that rolling kick so much. So I'm not really going to go through and explain every single thing I did there because it's really just a lot of, and here's a trigger condition, here's another trigger condition, and here's another. I mean, like, look, man, use trigger conditions, have things happen not every single time. You're automatically going to sound smarter and sexier. I want to keep this kind of relatively short, not only because it's a little tedious for you and for me, but also I'm so tired. I have not had a good night's sleep in what feels like an eternity. And that transitions us perfectly into the fact that I need to talk about my health a little bit, be transparent with you guys. But also, before I do that, if any patrons want a full breakdown of everything I did, please feel free to just ask me. I will gladly make that video. I won't have to edit it or anything. I'll just make it a kind of a raw, uncut stream of consciousness, me talking about every single thing I did. I'd be happy to do that for you guys. You support the channel in a very real way and are the only reason I'm still doing this through the medical problems I've been having, because boy, howdy, let me tell you, it's been rough. Bark, bark. Yeah. It's no stranger to anybody who's seen my face that I am fat. I'm a bigger guy, and I don't care particularly about how I look. I think I'm pretty okay with how I look. I'm married. I have 2 beautiful children. They all think I'm super handsome, and I think I'm fine. So the looks aspect of this has never bothered me. But unfortunately, with being big, often comes with being unhealthy. Not all the time. Being fat does not mean that you're unhealthy. Being unhealthy does not mean that you're fat. There are plenty of skinny people I know that are just as unhealthy as me. But I am both. I am unhealthy and fat. More unhealthy than fat. And so I have a lot of problems. I just in general don't feel good a lot, which is due to chronic illnesses more than anything else. But it certainly isn't helped by my diet. And yeah, it's something I've struggled with for a long time. Look, I don't want to get into this isn't fucking Information Magazine. Is that a magazine? You know what I'm talking about. The ones in the fucking information magazines. The one in the supermarkets where like, Brad Pitt killed Angelina Jolie's mom for sleeping with his sister. It's not like that, man. The point of the fact is, I have not formally been diagnosed with sleep apnea, but it's pretty much certain that it's something that I've developed. And I have not slept more than like 1 hour at a time or 2 hours at a time in what feels like months. It's really only been like probably a few weeks, maybe a month. But I am just drained all the time. I mean, like if I sat here for 10 minutes uninterrupted, I would just fall asleep, just straight up. I'm always struggling to stay awake. That's how I've been getting so much painting done, actually, for Warhammer, is that it actually keeps me awake. I should probably do the same thing with music. But yeah, man, it's been really hard to make videos. It's been really hard to edit videos. I'll fall asleep while editing. It's tough. I'm getting help. I'm, scheduled to see a person about a thing. But you know how the American medical system goes, man. I'm waiting on my insurance to improve. I'm waiting on my insurance to approve something, and whether or not they approve it, then I get an appointment, then I have to take a test, then I got to wait a month, then I got to yada yada. It's going to be a long time, relatively speaking, before I get any real help. So yeah, videos are probably going to be a little more spaced out, probably going to be a little different, a little more sleepy, a little more tired, a little less high energy. I almost just made an update video this week, but I really felt like I owed you guys something that was at least somewhat substantial. There's only so many times I can make a video where I'm like, everything sucks, but next week it'll be all right, and then disappear for a couple weeks, right? So, yeah, that's the size of it, really, is that shit kind of sucks right now, but you know what? I'm okay. I have a wonderful family that's taking care of me. I have, a nice job that is supportive and understanding of what I'm going through. We're okay. I'm okay. I'm going to start doing yoga with Adrienne. It's going to be a whole lifestyle change for me. So maybe over the next, 6 to 8 months, you'll see me dramatically slim down and I'll be ripped as shit. And then I can be like buff dad, and that'll be cool too. Although I kind of like the authority that being a fat dad gives me. I feel like it's a look, it's an aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, that's it, really. If anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to hit me up. I'm an open book. I don't mind talking about this stuff. If you're a student of mine, I'm sorry, man. I know that my interactions have been spotty. If you've reached out for lessons, it probably took me a very long time to get back to you. Please understand that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. It's just been a tough time. But I want to get you seen. I want to get you learning the Octatrack, and I'm getting back to that point now where I'm kind of just getting used to this and powering through it. So yeah, if you have reached out for lessons, please check your email. I've hit you up, and let's get something going. Yeah, other than that, I mean, hey, check out this little Necron guy. Can you see him? I didn't paint him, but I made his little base. He's got lava on him, doesn't he? That's fun. Yeah. I don't know. I want to thank you so much for watching. I want to thank you so much for supporting and for caring. For anybody who's commented while I'm gone, like, bro, are you alive? Are you okay? Thanks for that. It's kind of cool to know that people would notice if I stopped making these videos. Because sometimes I wonder, if it really would matter. Yeah, dour note to go out on, dog. Damn. Let's end it with something a little nicer. You guys are the best, patrons and non-patrons. Anybody who's ever watched or supported the channel, freaking big salute to you, big commendatore. And I legitimately wouldn't be able to do it without your guys' support. So thank you so much. I hope to be back next week with the video, but no promises there. It's just going to depend on how I'm doing physically. Maybe I'll make a video like doing yoga with the Octatrack. I'll make some ambient music, and then you guys can watch me do fucking downward dog and cat's pose and whatever this is. And we can all just vibe out. I don't know, man. It's all up in the air. But seriously, patrons, thank you so much for your ongoing support, your patience. You guys are the best. And normal free viewers, a bunch of freeloaders, I don't like you. Give me money, etc. I don't even have the energy to be ironic. Isn't that sad? I don't even have the energy to be ironic. Ugh. Don't get sleep apnea, folks. Wouldn't recommend it. Things I wouldn't recommend in life: bed bugs, sleep apnea, and COVID-19. So, if you're thinking about getting any of those, if you're researching the pros and cons, maybe don't get those things, because they're expensive and tiring, and no one really wants to be around you when you have them. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Daniel. This is the Messy Desk, and I love you more than I love the Necron army of the Novak Dynasty. They're pretty cool. They get +1 to charge, and they attack real good. I'll see you when I see you. I love you.